Massive stories breaking across world football today. Liverpool are plotting another raid on Newcastle, ARNE pushing for 4 new defenders, and yes, Marc Guéhi is right in the mix. But that's not all. Real Madrid's interest in Ibrahima Konate sparks fresh transfer suspicion, with new details emerging on Bayern's hidden links. And finally, Real Madrid's wage list revealed. Who are the 10 highest paid players in world football right now? You might be surprised. Stay with LFC Transfer Hub tuned, we're breaking down every headline, every source, and every twist right here. And don't forget to subscribe. Let's kick things off with the first major story. Liverpool target another standout Newcastle raid. Liverpool are in what has been described as internal discussions to sign a new central defender in the January transfer window, according to a trusted reporter, with Newcastle star Sven Botman one of 4 new options being discussed by the reigning Premier League champions. The Reds spent heavily over the summer transfer window to significantly upgrade Arne Slot's title-winning squad, with a record-breaking £440 million, €505 million, $600 million, splashed out on new players. One of those signed came in the heart of defense in the form of promising teenager Giovanni Leone, who was bought in a €30 million, £26 million, $34 million, deal from Italian side Parma. Sadly, though, Leone suffered an ACL tear on his Liverpool debut in the Carabao Cup, meaning it is likely the young Italian will likely miss the entirety of this season after the shattering blow. And with only Joe Gomez seen as a senior option to cover the first-choice pairing of Ibrahima Konate and Virgil van Dijk, there are concerns that Liverpool are one injury or suspension away from being left extremely light in the heart of their defense. Now, journalist Ben Jacobs has confirmed that talks are underway at further adding to the Liverpool squad during the winter window after Leone underwent successful surgery on his injury. However, as the journalist testifies, there are no guarantees that the Reds will sign anyone given the difficulties sides often face in striking deals in January. Writing for TalkSport, Jacobs confirmed it was unlikely Leone would play again this season, and, while there is no panic ahead of the January window, he admits the club will try and do something. And with internal discussions underway to determine if they should go back in for summer target Marc Guéhi, the report goes on to name 4 other targets, including Newcastle star Botman, who are also being discussed in the corridors of power at Anfield. Newcastle star one of 4 new names under Liverpool transfer microscope. Any Liverpool raid on Newcastle would be hugely controversial, given the lengthy summer saga that ultimately resulted in the Reds prizing the much-coveted Alexander Isak away from St James Park in a British record £125 million deal. The Swede, who reverted to some pretty underhand tactics to try and force the move, ultimately got his wish, despite having close to 3 years remaining on his deal on Tyneside. Now, according to Jacobs, stylish Netherlands defender Botman is also coming onto the Reds' radar, though he is joined on that wishlist by Willian Pacho, PSG, and the Sporting CP pair of Zeno Debust and Ousmane Diomande. Deals for Botman and Pacho, though, are seen as hugely ambitious, with the Magpies adamant they won't sell another top star to their Premier League rivals, while Ecuador international Pacho is contracted to European champions PSG until 2029. Belgium star Debust or Ivorian powerhouse Diomande could be seen as more obtainable targets were the Reds to move for them. However, there is no doubting the clear target remains Palace star Guéhi, with the 26-year-old's contract at Selhurst Park expiring next summer and the Eagles not wanting to lose a prized asset for nothing next summer. Having come so close to landing the player on deadline day, we understand that the England man still has his heart set on a move to Anfield. But with the Eagles starting the season so well, their continued good form will ensure a deal for the Reds will be harder than ever to pull off in January, and while Oliver Glasner's side remain candidates to secure a hugely impressive top 4 finish. Team Talk has already revealed that chess pieces are already in motion to bring Guéhi, branded an absolute tank, to Anfield in the January transfer window, with our reporter Fraser Fletcher talking up the prospects of a move coming off. Guéhi isn't the only Palace player the Reds are said to be targeting. Amid claims Slot's side could also look to bring his Eagles teammate, branded a Rolls-Royce, to Anfield alongside him. Elsewhere, Liverpool have been given further belief that Konate will sign a new deal at Anfield after a second source suggested Real Madrid are focusing on a Bayern Munich star instead. The Frenchman's current deal at Anfield expires next June, and he is one of the poorest paid regulars in Slot's first team. The Reds are also understood to be seeking a long-term heir for Mo Salah in 2026, with the Egyptian star likely to depart Anfield at the end of the 2026-27 season and when the deal he signed this summer comes to an end. However, Slot's dream target to come in as the Egyptian's heir is now under serious threat amid claims PSG have also set their sights on signing the quality wideman too. Let's kick things off with the second major story. Konate, Real Madrid transfer suspicion revealed by sources. Liverpool links to Bayern star are clarified. Liverpool are not going to desperately attempt to keep Ibrahima Konate at the club if he decides Real Madrid is the best route for him, per Team Talk sources, while links to Bayern Munich's Dayot Upamecano have also been clarified. Konate has grown into one of the most dependable players in the Premier League at Liverpool. While he was key to their title triumph last term, this season, he slipped back a bit. When he was at his best, Real Madrid were reportedly very keen to land him on a free transfer in the summer. Now, though, interest seems to be fading and reports have surfaced suggesting Liverpool are trying to offer the Frenchman a new deal and are confident of that so that he can't escape for free in the summer. Team Talk transfer insider Dean Jones has given his insight into what might happen in Konate's future. My suspicion around this is that it is in the interest of Konate for this saga to drag out right now. It is helpful for Madrid to believe he could yet still stay at Liverpool, and it is good for him to know that he has options if one gives up on him, he said. I think Liverpool would keep Konate on, and there have been some whispers that new contact has been made on that front recently, but by no means would they show signs of desperation to make it happen. That's the impression I get. If Konate really wants to leave, then I think they will just accept that and move on. Liverpool have been linked with Dayot Upamecano, but there is nothing progressive or active on that front at the moment from what I have been told. Obviously Marc Guéhi remains at the top of the list. When next for Liverpool at centre-back? As Jones mentions, Crystal Palace centre-back Guéhi remains the main man on Liverpool's shortlist, with the Reds having come very close to sealing his transfer in the summer before the Eagles pulled out of the deal late on. Guéhi's contract is up in the summer and it would be expected that were he to move anywhere, it would be then. But after Giovanni Leone's injury of late, Liverpool are looking to secure a cut-price January move for Guéhi, according to Team Talk sources. And if that doesn't work, they have a trick up their sleeve in attempting to sign his Palace defensive partner Maxence Lacroix, as scouts have reportedly described him as a Rolls-Royce, having watched him when keeping an eye on Guéhi. Liverpool round up, January CB move on as 4 new targets emerge. It looks almost certain that the Reds will recruit at centre-back in January, with a report suggesting internal discussions are on to add a player there. A report has named Sven Botman, Willian Pacho, Zeno Debust and Ousmane Diomande as potential January recruits for Liverpool. Meanwhile, concern has been revealed from Reds manager Arne Slot at Florian Wirtz's under-par start for the club. And Liverpool could miss out on winger target Michael Ollis from Bayern Munich, as Paris Saint-Germain are reportedly willing to put €100 million on the table to land him. Let's kick things off with the third major story. Real Madrid wages, top highest paid players on football's biggest wage bill. Real Madrid currently have the highest wage bill in world football, pipping Bayern Munich and cash-rich Premier League side Manchester City to the summit. It's little surprise that they pay more than all of their competitors, with some of world football's very biggest names on their books. Here, we have looked at the top 10 highest earners at Real Madrid. Note, the values listed in pounds are conversions at the time of writing, rounded to the nearest thousand per week, and are subject to change. 1. Kylian Mbappé. Weekly salary, €600,962, £518,000. Annual salary, €31.25 million, £26.9 million. On contract until 2029. One of the best paid players on the planet, Real Madrid's top earner is, of course, Kylian Mbappé. It wasn't exactly a well-kept secret that Mbappé was going to end up at Madrid after his contract with Paris Saint-Germain ended, but it was a monumental move nonetheless. In their efforts to keep Mbappé for as long as possible, PSG were paying him more than €1 million per week, but his heart was set on a switch to Madrid. Real pay him a lower base salary, but he also receives lucrative bonuses, which, if all active, would put €1,378,269 per week in his pockets. Only Manchester City's Erling Haaland earns a higher base salary in European football, but Mbappé's full package when bonuses are brought in is bigger. Mbappé enjoyed a strong individual debut season, scoring 44 goals from 59 games. 2. David Alaba. Weekly salary, €432,692, £373,000. Annual salary, €22.5 million, £19.4 million. On contract until 2026. After running down his contract at Bayern Munich, where he was earning €192,308 per week, Alaba earned himself a lucrative deal with Madrid in 2021. With 10 Bundesliga titles behind him, the versatile left-footed defender agreed a 4-year deal for his first taste of Spanish football. At the time, there were 5 players being paid more by Madrid, but Karim Benzema, Toni Kroos, Marcelo, Gareth Bale and Eden Hazard have all since left the club. Alaba's contract is worth more than €430,000 per week, but it is due to expire at the end of the season. His injury history makes for an uncertain future. 3. Jude Bellingham. Weekly salary, €400,577, £345,000. Annual salary, €20.83 million, £18 million. On contract until 2029. Bellingham's journey to becoming one of the highest-paid players at Real Madrid is a very interesting one. His first ever contract in football, with Birmingham City, saw him paid around €2,000 per week, and he only played one season of senior football there prior to a move to Borussia Dortmund. There, he earned around €62,000 per week, and even now, the German outfit don't pay anybody more than €200,000, so he was never likely to make the sort of massive sum he now does at Real. Now seen as one of the very best talents in world football, Bellingham is earning north of €400,000 per week, and earning every penny, with more than 60 direct goal contributions in 2 complete seasons with Real. 3. Vinicius Jr. Weekly salary, €400,577, £345,000. Annual salary, €20.83 million, £18 million. On contract until 2027. The runner-up for the 2024 Ballon d'Or, it's no surprise that Vinicius Jr. is one of the best-paid players in the world. Madrid brought the Brazilian to Europe when he was 18, spending a considerable €46 million to do so, and the former Flamengo winger has since flourished as a first-team star. Vinicius' first Madrid salary pocketed him €128,269 per week, before he signed a contract extension in October 2023 to take his weekly wage above €400,000. That came a few months after he inherited the iconic number 7 shirt at the Bernabeu, and he has been living up to its reputation since, with achievements like scoring in the 2024 Champions League final. 4. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Weekly salary, €320,577, £276,000. Annual salary, €16.67 million, £14.4 million. On contract until 2031. Alexander-Arnold ran down his contract with Liverpool to complete a move to Real Madrid in 2025, although his new club did end up paying a small transfer fee to take him in time for the Club World Cup. The right-back rejected a contract renewal offer from Liverpool, where he was earning £180,000 per week since his last extension there in 2021, but would have been in line for another pay rise. After signing a 6-year contract with Madrid, the England international now earns the equivalent of more than £275,000 per week, as well as a healthy package of bonuses. 5. Rodrigo. Weekly salary, €320,577, £276,000. Annual salary, €16.67 million, £14.4 million. On contract until 2028. Rodrigo penned a new deal during the 2023-24 season. He was making around €160,000 per week prior to his extension, which followed a season in which the winger scored 19 goals and assisted another 11. The season which earned him new terms saw Rodrigo bag 18 goals and 8 assists, and his consistency shows he was worthy of it. However, he has since been linked with a move away, potentially into the Premier League, after Madrid's investment in some even higher-earning attackers. 6. Federico Valverde. Weekly salary, €320,577, £276,000. Annual salary, €16.67 million, £14.4 million. On contract until 2029. Valverde has been at the club since 2018, and if he sees out his contract, will remain there until at least 2029. His wage has risen gradually as he has become a more important player for Real. When he joined, he was being paid under €20,000 per week, then €80,000 per week for a couple of years, before moving to €156,000, and now around double that, at €320,577. Valverde is undoubtedly one of the most important players in the Madrid squad, and it would not be a surprise to see his wage rise even further as he continues to have an impact for them.